Oh, you are so on that things have now become very much like Donkey Kong.
Listen up, man! We got the biggest plans! Follow us, cause we're going to save the world! They all call out our names, and I'm not about to run and hide! I scream out, screw 'em all this time! Screw 'em all tonight! We got the biggest plans this time! Screw 'em all tonight! We've always been untouchable! Screw 'em all tonight! We got the biggest plans this time! Gonna screw 'em all tonight! We've always been untouchable! Something to be was your last misery. So much to prove didn't get you anywhere. I got this way, it got me where I am today. I won't back up for nothing. I mean it with all my heart. Screw 'em all tonight. We got the biggest plans this time. Screw 'em all tonight. We've always been untouchable. Screw 'em all tonight. We got the biggest plans this time. Screw 'em all tonight. We've always been untouchable. I know we got it so deep inside. I know we got it so deep inside.
If you'd be so kind, I guess starting from my right, would you mind introducing yourselves?
I'm Vico. I play bass.
I'm Ian. I sing in the band.
I'm Mark. I play one of the two guitars.
And I'm Tom. I also play guitar.
And the band that you guys play for is?
Überyou,
From?
Switzerland.
Okay, so we're downstairs from Rumah Api, where we are hoping you guys are going to play tonight. I understand might be a little bit of a lineup issue going on.
Yeah, our drummer somehow managed to lose his pass. I believe always everything comes together, so it would be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
So worst case scenario, you guys go on very late, and it'll be extremely punk rock, since it's a Tuesday night, and some of us have work in the morning, but that's okay. Punk rock comes first. Okay, so I will admit at this point that I don't know very much about your band, except for what I heard on your Bandcamp page. So if you don't mind, let's go through your history a little bit. When did you guys start?
First, we came up with the idea in 2008, and that's by the end of 2008 we did first rehearsals, but we weren't really active at this time. We really started to do stuff in a more serious way, or with the intention to tour and put out a record in 2010. That was also when we went for the first times to the United States for a small tour / road trip, and released our first album. And since then we try to tour on in countries where we or bands don't go too often, and we went to South America for a couple of times. We went to Central America as well. Now we're in Asia, and yeah, so we're pretty happy how things turn out so far.
I do want to talk about the touring a little bit, especially since you guys have played places like Myanmar and Cuba, which a lot of bands don't get to play. Going back to your history, what was the impetus behind you guys forming? Like, what were your intentions?
Well, we just really were a bunch of friends who've been hanging out at shows and loving music and sharing music for a long, long time. We just wanted to do a project where we get to have fun together and just have a good time. And how Vico said, organically it just became what it is now, and we just wanted to tour and play and share. We really strongly believe in the DIY ethics and try to experience as much as we can in other countries, because scenes in other parts of the world that are not so developed are so interesting to us. Sitting here with you sharing these stories is already crazy, and it wouldn't be if it wasn't for the band.
Was that a major driving factor to be able to travel the world and tour?
Yes, definitely. All these crazy places, we ended up with crazy friendships, and we still have a lot of contact with all these people. We exchange a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's just the more we toured, the more we noticed how fun it is, especially on this kind of circle we kind of are able to do.
So, I mean, as far as the DIY ethic goes, you guys are self-managed and you guys release your material yourselves, right?
We're self-managed. A lot of stuff is self-funded also.
We record our albums ourselves, we produce them ourselves, we record them, we mix them ourselves. We do have some help from some labels.
Yes, there's a lot of people that's helped us out over the years. I mean, without those people, nothing will be possible. But we do a lot of things ourselves, and let's be honest, at tours like that, like the one we're doing right now, it's not possible if it's not self-funded for a band like us. So,
and it's also not possible if it wasn't for people like Ancha that do this for bands like us, just for it, that travel the whole tour with us, and actually, yeah, for no money, actually, just for the fun of it and the spirit.
Maybe to clarify, Ancha is the guy who booked the Southeast Asia leg of our tour.
He's your Asian tour promoter. As far as the music goes, how would you describe what you do?
Well, I can only talk for myself, because I think everyone has a little bit another way of thinking how everything is. But I think when we really started the band, there was two main influences for me, at least. One was against me, and one was fucked up. And we really just wanted to do something that has a lot of energy live, in your face. And that was, I think, the music was one factor, but I think also the live energy was something we really wanted to try to just keep up. So I think live energy and a lot of melodic stuff. The whole, I don't know, Gainesville punk, hot water music, semi-am style of stuff, and fucked up the Bronx, stuff like that.
I mean, would you describe yourselves as post-hardcore, melodic hardcore, melodic punk?
It's hard to put in words what we do. I think it's melodic punk rock with a lot of woes and sing-alongs and high fives at the end of the day. It's hard to label,
High five core?
High five punk. High five punk. Yeah.
When the clock keeps ticking on and on, trying to grab to what I can. I want it, not get it now. Stuck in it anyhow. I want it, not get it now. Stuck in it anyhow. Keep on running till miles all along the coast. We're about to meet a family again. Right before we enter the gates of gold. 99 bottles, yes, we've got stories to tell. Singing out loud, all together, it's all that helps. Oh, memories now written, they will never be forgotten. As the streets feel like sweet home to all of us. Now we're far east from Los Angeles, and he is asleep on the backseat again. The girls are looking up from the sidewalks, in the city of sin, we're never giving in.
How do you guys write your songs?
Well, how we write our songs, it's we do it actually all together. We go to the band room, band practice, and then we just, somebody comes up with an idea, and
Basically,
sometimes it's I just like to fiddle around.
He fiddles with
I
the
fiddle
guitar,
with the
and
guitar.
then just hits come out.
Yeah,
nonstop.
and all of a sudden I'm like, guys, I have an idea, and it's sometimes it's one that stays, and sometimes it's one that just, and and that's the way. And we write mostly about our personal lives, about relationship that ended, or about the good times we're having on the road, and it's basically it's pretty much about that. What is
Does everyone have feedback about the lyrics?
feedback.
Like, does everyone contribute to the lyrics?
Two main singers, lyric writers, are Mark, the guitarist, and
Ian.
I also contribute. It depends on the record.
Sometimes
and on-
also Vico helps out. Also Tommy also already helped out. Like finding the right sentence, or like that fits to a certain song or a certain feeling you want to express. But mostly it's I think it's Ian and I that write this stuff so far.
It changes all the time,
Yeah.
depending on our life mood.
And being angry or being sad really helps in writing songs. So you can tell if somebody has been angry is really productive, or if he's sad, it really,
I think the more desperation and angst is a good cocktail for good lyrics.
Yeah. Not releasing anything in 3 years means we really had a good time. Nothing to write about. Yeah.
I mean, what's the longest you guys have gone without releasing anything? Because you have quite a few releases at this point.
I think it's it's a 3-year run we're on now, or 4-year run. I think we
The
released
last one was the
215. Okay.
August 215.
That was
Our last 7-inch.
We try to be productive and try to always put something out somehow. I think it shows that you're on it, and no matter how hard it is, how much money it will take to press that thing, we try to do it.
Yeah, actually we have like a new record that is almost done. It's just like the vocals for 2 or 3 songs are missing and the whole mixing and that process, but we hope to be able to put it out in fall of this year.
And there's also a split 7-inch coming in the next month.
The next one, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Breaking news.
Yeah,
what's-
first one to hear it. Whoop.
Who's the split with?
It's with a Swiss band called Chelsea, that big combo. And well, what they did actually, they helped us out on our tour in South America. They kind of spent some money in order to help us out to do the tour, and our payback, so to say, was that we cover one of their songs, which was just like something to do as a present. It was we had a lot of fun, and they were like, dudes, we should do a split, and well, we're gonna just cover one of your songs. So that's basically what came out now, or what will come out in a month. It's like a split 7-inch, and we cover a song of them and they cover a song of ours. And it's funny, they're also like, they just announced a tour in Japan in the end of February. It's a band you should check out. They're really cool. Chelsea, that big combo.
So I do want to talk about your touring ethic. You guys have toured a lot and you've gone to a lot of places that a lot of bands don't get to go to. How do you decide where you're going to go? Does it start with an offer, or do you guys like decide we're going to go to this place and then?
First few years, we seeked out a little bit where we wanted to go. I think the first South American tour was a big wish of myself. I was just at work, bored as hell, hating life, and I decided I really want to go to South America because I have South American roots. And I just write it myself to death on the internet, and somehow it ended up working. And slowly in the last few years, we've been usually Europe. It's more we've been having a lot of friendship with bands, and that's how touring turns out to be, and in Europe in general, and all these now the Southeast Asia tour was already. We wanted to come here, so we seeked it out. We tried to make the contact. Hey, is this possible? And that's pretty how it works. There's so many ideas I have. Where I want to go. I want to go to South Africa. I want to go to Israel. There's a bunch of interesting places. I wish we had more money and time.
Yeah, but I mean, also mostly after this first tour in Brazil and Cuba, like we got to know new people there, and every time we toured, that kind of like opened new doors and new like possibilities to like, yeah, come to this country, you should do that, you should do this, I know people there. And this is also how and what made our decisions easier. And yeah,
I do want to talk about Cuba because I don't know anyone from outside of Cuba who's played there. How did that come about?
So the story goes, I somehow, while I was trying to find a way to play in South America, there's a fanzine I read about this crust band, Belgian crust band, touring Cuba. To me, it was insane how you could, I mean, it just seemed like a paradox. A crust band, grindcore in Cuba, communist country. Yeah. For some reason, they mentioned the guy that picked them up at the airport and who organized the show and the whole tour, which was David Chapette from Brutal Beatdown Records. I looked up the name, found him, wrote him. I remember exactly what I wrote. Like, hey David, we're a punk band. We would love to come to Cuba. We're not really Brutal Beatdown, but would you be into booking our shows? And he wrote us, yes, let's do it. And this guy has been involved with the Cuban scene, punk subculture. It's, in these countries, it's not just punk. It mixes because there's not a lot of bands. So the scene is very diverse, and yeah, we did it, and we learned we got to meet so many cool bands. It was crazy. So yeah, David Chapette is the man for DIY and subculture in Cuba.
Did you guys have any problems getting into the country or the authorities or anything like that?
No, not at all. We were surprised as well. I mean, we got held up at the airport for like 15 minutes, because they just weren't used to like the visa we had, been given to, and but it was no problem at all, no, and no, it was actually, and being able to tour as a band, and this is also what like makes us coming back to countries like Cuba or going to places we don't know, is like if you're in a band and you play a show, you're more of a guest than a tourist. So also in Cuba we got to see stuff that probably a normal tourist wouldn't be able to see, like people invited us to their homes and like stuff like that, and that's so super interesting. And it's this is really what we love, about touring as a band. You're more of a guest than you are a tourist, so that was really interesting.
What year was this that the Cuba show took place?
First time in 2013.
So is this after the sanctions were relaxed?
I'm not sure, to be
Yeah,
honest.
the second time
Yeah,
it
the
was
second
like
time
a
was
month
just
after.
So the first time we went, David organizes a fest tour around Cuba called Brutal Beatdown Fest, but Brutal Fest. So it's a bunch of bands, 6 bands, usually foreign bands, mostly French, touring Cuba for 6 days or 6 to 9 cities. We were the first band. I think he decided to book outside of that tour. So the first tour we did was a really crazy tour. We played in Havana, in Santa Clara, and in Holguin. And it was just a mix of... It's hard to put into words what we played.
I mean, for example, we played a festival, like it was, I think, almost a week-long festival that was called Fiesta de la Cultura Iberoamericana, so like a festival of Latin American culture. We were a Swiss band there, so but they just put us on the bill, and we played like 4 shows that were part of this festival in super fun and different places. Like one was at the beach, like literally on the sand, where they said was the bay where Christopher Columbus landed, and we played with like, I don't know, dance groups from Colombia and comedy groups from Argentina, like
And we also played in Santa Clara. We played in Mejunje, which was the only cultural center in independent cultural center in Cuba. The night before was like a transvestite night, so it was cool. We got to see a lot of subculture, and then the second time we went there, we asked him if we could do the Brutal Fest tour. So we went there for a Brutal Fest, and it was a little bit of a different experience because you play different, like more like big stages. It's like the tour. People look like all the kids in those cities look forward to that because it's only happening twice a year. So it's they never get to see foreign bands except those 2 times a year. So it's a happening. So you have all the crazy kids, Cuban kids. You always play with 1 or 2 Cuban bands, which are amazing, most of them. And it's just a trip.
These walls are gonna be the death of me. I feel trapped in this locked up situation.
besides Cuba, you guys also just played Myanmar, which honestly, even like bands from the region, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, don't get to play Myanmar very much. How did that come about?
So, yeah, let me. We had our first drummer, Luki. He works now in Myanmar. In the last 2 years, he's been very involved with the Myanmar punk scene, playing in a band called Culture Shock. So he knows all the kids, and when we started working on this Southeast Asia thing, we knew we wanted to go to Myanmar. It was just like, Luki lives there, he plays in a punk band, we have to go play Myanmar. And it just happened to turn out that our original drummer can't make it, so we played the show with him, and that's how we ended up there. Just threw him with him and played with all his bands and all the bands, and I think we're the first Swiss band to ever play Myanmar.
He's pretty much one of the first foreign like subcultural or punk bands that he knows of, like that actually played there, because it obviously is super hard to promote shows there, because it's really expensive to rent the venues, or there aren't many venues, then it's super expensive to rent the gear. So there's not a lot of shows happening, and no foreign bands pretty much go there because of that. We were lucky enough that he could talk to the Swiss embassy, and they would pay for the venue to make this show happen. And there were 7 or 8 different bands. There was a rap band, there was a funk band, there were punk bands. So it was if there's an opportunity to play, everybody has to play, because it might be the last for I don't know how many weeks or months.
It was a free show too, which was cool. So all the punk kids came. No one can really afford it. They wouldn't pay for it. And also a shout out to Culture Shock and Rebel Ryan. And you guys have to check out My Buddha is Punk, which is a extremely good documentary about the punk scene in Myanmar.
My Buddha is Punk.
My Buddha is Punk.
Myanmar was the first date of your Southeast Asia tour,
Yes.
and today would be the third.
Third.
Okay. You guys actually, I was surprised. You know quite a bit about Rumah Api. You knew that this wasn't the original Rumah Api. How do you guys know about the space?
I love DIY culture in other countries. It's just I seek it out. I Google it. I start researching. I just playing this. I mean, this is an institution. Even if there's 3 people, I'm so stoked to be here. This is insane. Rumah Api, 18th floor. I mean, this guy. I mean, the promoter. He's been helping the local scene for so many years. It's insane. Meeting him, seeing what's up, being in the space. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah.
I try to get the point across that Rumah Api is exactly what CBGB's was. We make it what it is. You know what I mean? It's not.
I mean, to me, to be honest, it feels more like an ABC No Rio.
It is more like ABC No Rio, but just in terms of hearing you talk about Rumah Api being this legendary thing. I started coming to shows here maybe, or not here, but the original Rumah Api, maybe 4 months after they started, and it was just a house which guys were having shows in. You know what I mean? And then over the years, it became this place where people would come from all over the world. People would come from Sweden. People would come from Russia to play shows here.
I mean, this is the case with a lot of places. Even if it's smaller venues or whatever, or Gilman Street is something. In one day I want to play this show, and I was close to go to a show there of the Locust. That was a long time ago, but the line was so long and it was sold out.
Locust.
Yeah.
What year was this?
Of 2004 or something like that. I don't remember, but it was it must have been.
It would have been crazy if it was
4.
2002, because I went to that show.
Or maybe it was 2002. It's well
if it
possible.
was the Locust and maybe Lightning Bolt and Arabon Radar.
I don't remember.
Okay,
I have to say, but it was just crazy. This is one of the places, and also ABC No Rio. I didn't really know much about it. Ian told us a lot about it, and it was and then we got to play this venue, and it's like you said, it's a house. It's but still, it's a cultural space where they host a lot of cool bands, but they do a lot of good stuff, and And we also had these places and still have some in Switzerland, and it's the same, you know, when we say, yeah, you know, like, oh, we played, you know, at the Kalkbreite, which used to be a squat, and now it's a fancy building with cafes and stuff. Some younger punks are like, oh wow, you were there, and you saw, you know. So I think there's just certain places that you had good nights or good shows or whatever that just become these legendary places, and then, you know, I think that's what it is. And so, yeah.
Yeah, there's a weird disconnect because, you know, we've got the local punk scene and the local like DIY scene. You know, there are many more people who listen to this kind of music. They just don't hold the local scene on the same level as, you know, like a band that comes from the States, and it's really hard to explain to people that it's the exact same thing. It's just one you see a picture of in a magazine, and the other, you know, is us.
Can I say something still to what you were saying? I think what makes this place so special is that it's people taking this subculture into their own hands.
Right.
It's all a collective of people trying to do something for the scene.
Right.
It's not commercial. So in our little world that we all love so much, it's a prime example of how something can be amazing. So I think to a lot of people, it's one of those places where it like shines out, and like it's a example how you should do it. And sadly, there's not a lot of places like that. So I think with that ethic, and that's what I think makes it also very special. And all those places, it's like the collectives and the places where they do it DIY style. They really try to give back to the scene, and that's why I think it's so popular with a lot of people, because it's just amazing that something like that works.
It's hard to breathe right with all this weight on yourself. Waking up every morning and not knowing where I stand. Wearing shadow over
Zurich. Let's talk about your scene. How would you describe it?
It's hard. It has ups and downs like everywhere else in the world. We have a lot of shows happening all the time, a lot of foreign bands touring. Everything's super expensive. But there's been, I think, when was the big switch? I think around 2003. There's 2003, 2000. Mark's been going to shows for so long.
Yeah, I was a hardcore kid when I was young, and I went to see a lot of cool bands, and I didn't know that there was cool bands. I don't know, like Integrity and stuff like that. That I at the time was like, whatever. I just want to go to as many shows as possible. And I saw, I don't know, American Nightmare, before they became whatever. And I don't want to brag about it, but it's more like there was so many cool shows going on, and the kids put up so many cool stuff, and it was just there, And nowadays it's like on the DIYs, there's still a lot of shows, but I don't know. I think it kind of switched, and it's also because a lot of bands that at that time were small and toured for no money now became kind of big, And Against Me wouldn't play in a small venue for.
To put it short, it seems like in Zurich and in Europe in general, but in Switzerland, all these cool bands we used to love have become more commercialized. There's a lot of more booking agents, everything's more expensive. But at the same time, there's an amazing, vibrant DIY scene happening. There's a lot of squads, there's a lot of underground bands. For us, we try to be involved in the scene as much as we can, give back, and try to organize a lot of stuff. All the bands that's helped us out all over the world, we try to book them in our city. We try to make the tickets as cheap as possible. We try to make it affordable for everybody. We try just to show it's still, there's still something. We're active. We put up a show almost once a month. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just putting up shows. Like Vico, our bass player, and he also mixes stuff from bands of South America, and they send him over the files, and then he mixes it, and it's just in some way.
It's a give and take.
Yeah, it's a give and take, and a lot of people that we've known through the band have become good friends, and we get invited to their marriages and weddings, and now we're going to be a wedding band in April for like a guy from Brazil that's going to get married in Spain. Stuff like that happens only if you're in a band, and that's what we love about it.
But yeah, the only thing I miss in our scene a little bit is young people doing stuff. It feels like everyone gets older, and there's no young blood trying to do stuff themselves. So
every once in a while you got more. We have some, but yeah.
All you have is jaded old guys like me talking about the old days when they used to go to shows at CBGBs.
Sometimes it feels a little bit like that, but yeah, the scene is generally older. All the bands are older. People organizing stuff, they're generally older. So I wish our scene. I think it would be a little bit more vibrant if it was more young kids doing stuff. Like sometimes I ask myself, why am I doing this and not somebody younger? But that's just.
I think that just generally comes kind of in waves, and maybe now it's like we're a little on the down side of the tide, and maybe in a couple of years there's a bunch of young kids that start doing what we and others are doing right now. So.
Dude, in the last 3 or 4 years, maybe not even 3, maybe 2 years, I've lost count of how many 14-year-old kids I've seen wearing Ramones shirts. So no, honestly, it is what you're saying. It does go in cycles, and for some reason kids keep discovering this stuff. So I think you're going to see probably waves of new kids coming in soon. So let's finish this up, because I don't want you to miss any of the opening bands. What do you want to say to the kids in Malaysia, Indonesia, who are coming out to see you in the next week or so?
Get involved. Yeah. Get involved and start bands, and yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see all of you and party with you and have a good time with you and share stories and experiences and see all your beautiful countries.
Don't be shy, come up, talk to us, have fun. Great friendship started with, I don't know, kids coming to shows, and so it's really don't be shy, make music, keep on doing what you do. We have this one song, and it's you're never gonna give up, you know. And we wrote it 8 years ago or something. It's just like never gonna give up, even though you're like at the very bottom of whatever. Just don't give up, and look where we are here now. I mean, 2008 when we started, it was, I mean, we couldn't barely hit a note, and now we're in Malaysia, and it's such a pleasure. So, just never ever give up. Just keep on doing.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better. Sorry.
Right on. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much for the interview and for taking the time.